What's up, everybody on YouTube? It is StayFrostyFridgit, and today I got a little bit of a weird glitch, I guess. I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to do this or not, but this kinda, like what you're seeing in the screen, kinda just happened out the blue. I was actually delivering a CEO car, and it just kind of went crazy from there. I mean, as soon as the cutscene came up, everything was good. Came out the cutscene, and this is what I'm apparently driving. I don't know how this happened, but somehow it did. But you can see that the cargo bob that I'm in has completely turned invisible, and I figured out from doing this right here that if I touch a vehicle, it would go invisible, but it would still be there. And so I was kind of like, okay, so let's see what we can do with the different vehicles and everything, and testing out different vehicles. So I decided to go on ahead and fly to meet Zomboy right here. This is his view from underneath my chopper, and as you can tell, it's a little bit different. He's not able to see me in the chopper, but he can see him in the car. But another thing is, he also couldn't see me on the radar either. So it basically was telling him that I wasn't in the game at all, except for being on the list when you hit down on the D-pad. So it kind of threw us off for a little bit, but we finally figured out where we needed to meet up and how to find each other. And we actually made his car invisible, which this isn't the Rocket Voltic, this is a Kuruma. But we actually decided to get the idea of, alright, let's go on ahead and hit it with the Rocket Voltic. So, as you can see here, he goes ahead, blows himself up, whatever he does. But, so then, going ahead and call in the Rocket Voltic, and this was where it really got interesting. Because I wanted to try it on helicopters, and the rocket bike was one I really wanted to try it on. But we tried the rocket bike, and it just doesn't work. As soon as you hook the cable and go to unhook it, it'll completely just make you fall right off of it. But if, as you can see right here, what I just did is, if I hooked up to him, he was invisible for a second or two, but then he would come back. But if I just went on ahead and hooked and unhooked, then he would instantly be back. Stuck it. But he would instantly be back, like you see now, able to see his character and able to drive around just like this. And it was a good bit of entertainment to watch him ride around like this and be able to just fly right above the ground and run around, as you see here, smacking his face on everything, it looks like. But we did get a good bit of enjoyment out of it. I don't know if anybody else will ever have this happen to them, or if it was just a bug in the Rockstar servers or what happened, but honestly, like I said earlier, I have no clue how this happened. Like, just came straight out the cutscene and there it was. And I apologize ahead of time for the skipping in the video. That was because I didn't have my capture card on me at the time, and we were actually both having to record off of the Xbox, so I kind of had to do as best I could to get rid of the skips. Because with my internet connection not being all that great, it kind of had a bunch of skips to it. But for the most part, this glitch, I mean, it really didn't stop you from doing anything. Like, as you just saw, he was still able to throw Molotov stickies, he was able to shoot, everything like that. It all worked fine. But it's just, it kind of blew our minds a little bit that it would just, anything the cargo bob would touch, it just instantly invisible. But as you can see from where he just, well, you probably couldn't see it because it was quick, but like I said earlier, he couldn't see me on the map or anything, so it kind of threw us off a little bit. I was wondering, did the game kind of like halfway lagged me out and not completely do it, and it just took away my vehicle but left me in the lobby. But I couldn't really, I don't know, I couldn't even really get an idea of how this happened. But I know we we took the advantage of it the most we could, went around trying out different stuff. As you can see there's the ghost chain again. That was the craziest part to it, was the fact that I couldn't see him, but I couldn't see him and he couldn't see me either. So, like you see here on his screen, it just looked like he was being carried by just a random skyhook. And I couldn't even tell. Like, I had to tell him, I was like, whenever I drop the chain down, you're just gonna have to ride underneath of me because I just can't see you. But this was probably one of our better ideas besides the Rocket Voltic. The Rocket Voltic was probably the best, but this one right here was pretty funny too. We actually got the APC out and did the glitch on it and had him riding around invisible with it. And the main thing I wanted to see here was what it looked like for him to be riding around through the ocean and everything and just sitting there skidding across the top of the water on the ocean. But as you can see here, when I jumped out the cargo bob, and I knew it was going to happen, but as soon as I jumped out the cargo bob, it wouldn't let me back in or anything. We figured that out. Once you got out of the vehicles, you couldn't get back in them at all. Like you could do what I'm doing right here. You could stand on them, walk on them. You could punch them. You could do whatever you wanted to, except get in it, even if it was your own personal vehicle. But this was one of the funnier parts to me, was watching him slide across the water like that. If anybody else ends up watching this video and actually has the same problem happen to them, leave a comment down underneath the video. I'd actually be pretty interested to see if anybody else has this happen to them like we did. And like I said, no clue how, so there's no point in commenting and asking me how I did it, because I don't know. But I really am like highly intrigued to see if this happens to anybody else. But if you like the video, like and subscribe. Peace.